Albany, New York. Aside from his enthusiasm at performing in his hometown of Utica again, he also has a special show planned. Winner Sofronio Vasquez of Season 26 of The Voice, an NBC singing competition, talked about his life after the show. In addition to working on music projects in the US and the Philippines, Vasquez is handled by Star Magic in the Philippines and has cooperated with artists like Michael Bublé and David Foster. A number of his live performances have taken place all across the globe. On June 14th, the Stanley Theater in Utica will host one of these events featuring special guests from Season 26 of The Voice. Please, everyone, just go ahead and get your tickets. According to the singer, at the Stanley Theater concert on June 14th, I can confidently say that one of my relatives from upstate New York will be in attendance. A Buffalo native, Sydney Starace, was a finalist in Season 26 of American Idol. Thus, it is with great pleasure that I present her, Vasquez said. Shai, a singer-songwriter from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, will also be performing with him. Fruio considers himself incredibly fortunate to be back to the place he calls home after being away from the Philippines, especially because both Shai and Sydney were runner-ups on The Voice. It will be an incredible experience to perform for my people on that stage. Sing and greet everyone once again, he went on. He plans to complete his album soon and has started recording new tracks with Bubbly's crew. Bubble was inserted. Some of Vasquez's songs had never been recorded, and he even composed new songs specifically for me, but he was able to enlist the help of musicians and songwriters he had worked with before. Gratitude and excitement in sharing his musical journey with people have been expressed by Vasquez, and his extended gratitude to fans and communities in the Philippines and New York. Having the opportunity to work with folks I never thought I'd meet, like David Foster, and perform with legendary artists like Catherine McKay have been the most rewarding parts of my journey so far. He made the comment, and naturally I will be performing my song in front of Bill Gates. Vasquez has been followed by any Channel 2 since the beginning. You can learn more about Utica's Voice by clicking on the stories that follow. With the thunderous applause still echoing in his ears, Sofronio Vasquez came down from the stage, clutching the shimmering trophy that represented more than just a triumph in the singing competition. It also represented a path of perseverance, passion, and the unwavering determination to achieve one's dreams. The atmosphere was electric with emotion, and he still couldn't believe what had transpired as he lifted the medal in triumph. For me, winning The Voice was about so much more than that. He had become the artist he is today as a result of his humble origins and the countless hours of work and hardship that he endured. Sunio thought about his hometown of Utica, New York, as the cameras and reporters flocked to capture the occasion. Here, in the halls of his childhood home, he had his first musical experience, and the melodies he sang laid the foundation for his heart's rhythm. Now, as he was about to achieve fame on a global scale, he felt a deep obligation to pay tribute to the city that had nurtured him and laid the groundwork for his dreams. Utica went into a frenzy of joy in the days after his triumph. The once prodigal son was getting ready to return to the city that was famous for its unique culture and rich history. Billboards, news articles, and social media feeds greatly advertised Sofronio's triumph, and he had become a local hero. From small business owners to children, the people of Utica rallied around him, cheering him on as he conquered the challenging challenge. Sofronio was presented with a highly prized key to the municipal by the officials as a token of their appreciation for his achievement and the joy felt by the community at his triumph. On local television, the mayor urged citizens to join in the celebrations and marketed the event. Reminiscing about the streets he used to stroll as a child, the park benches where he would rehearse his songs, and the little community theaters where he would first sing in front of an audience, Sofronio felt the occasion strange. The sunny and beautiful weather that started the day of the wedding was a fitting representation of the joy that everyone was feeling. Flowers and banners praising Sofronio's accomplishments adorned the stage as families converged in the town square to celebrate. With the sun setting, the square was electric with anticipation when Sofronio emerged from a car that had seemingly stopped right in front of the roaring crowd. target population, he was taken aback by the overwhelming show of love and support he received as he made his way to the stage, where he was met with applause. Received from a multitude of well-known individuals, his immediate relatives caught his eye. As he neared the microphone, the audience subdued, their anticipation palpable as his parents, who had sacrificed so much for their children, stood before him, smiling and crying. With each breath, the gravity of the situation grew. "Hey, Utica," he sobbed, "I'm home," and the crowd let out a symphony of yelling that surged up the stage like a tsunami. His voice quivered with gratitude as he uttered the words, "I am so grateful. You believed in me even when I doubted myself. This triumph does not belong to me alone. It is yours. Every psalm I sang and every tear I shed on this journey was for you." As he spoke, Sofronio recounted the hardships he endured as a child, his early passion for music, the hours he spent in his bedroom practicing, and the constructive criticism that, instead of discouraging him, strengthened his resolve. He remembered the community programs that had been instrumental in his success. His local mentors, who had been there for him through thick and thin, and his biggest cheerleaders, both during his successes and his failures. He spoke highly of the importance of community and how the little things that people did for one another helped him get through tough times. After Sofronio finished speaking, the mayor came up to the platform to give him the key to the city. "Tonight we honor not only an extraordinary talent but also a true ambassador for Utica," the mayor said, his smile beaming with pride. "To put it simply, Sofronio Vasquez is our city's soul. His achievements show that dreams may come true for those who put in the time and effort." The crowd sent forth a fresh shout when the key was passed to Sofronio. Not just for him, but for all the dreamers in Utica, the massive, intricate key seemed to throb with significance, symbolizing hope and potential. The news of his victory traveled fast across the nation and beyond, touching the lives of people from all walks of life. Fans expressed their love for Sofronio's music and the influence his journey had on them through social media, using hashtags like #Ketoicity and #SofronioInspires. Many of his admirers wrote to express their gratitude, saying that his strength had encouraged them to pursue careers in the arts, music, or academia. In their interviews, young singers reflected on the ways in which the belief in their own abilities motivated them to take the stage. Warmly responding to these remarks, Sofronio reminded everyone that success was about more than just individual achievements. Additionally, it was about supporting and encouraging one another as we went. Amid his achievements, Sofronio maintained a grounded demeanor. He kept going on his school tour, where he spoke and led workshops about the importance of following one's dreams and never giving up. Along with other artists and musicians from his community, he worked to foster an environment where people were more likely to work together creatively. For me, Utica became like a magical playground where imaginations run wild and artists support and inspire one another. Because of the values taught in him by his community, Sofronio's music started to reflect this journey by being inspiring and upbeat. In his songs about love, resilience, and optimism were released on his debut post-show CD. People who listened to each heard his words and found inspiration and serenity within. As he wandered alone, Sofronio frequently reflected on the vastness of his voyage. The rise of a humble boy from Utica to the status of a famous celebrity, he remained humble and appreciative despite his immense fame. He made an effort to stay humble and connected to the people who helped him rise, and he frequently engaged in periods of reflection during which memories of his parents' sacrifices, choir rehearsals, and the dusty stages of small venues played back in his memory. Charity performances, mentorship programs for aspiring young artists, and other community service projects became an expression of my desire to give back. One notable event he orchestrated was a fundraiser concert showcasing musicians from Utica and beyond. Donations went straight to community arts programs, guaranteeing that artists of the future won't have to toil in the shadows. A night of togetherness and joy was generated by the concert, which showcased the abilities of local artists and musicians. The adventure of Sofronio Vasquez is far from over. The moment of victory on The Voice was pivotal. This is just the beginning, not the final chapter. There were opportunities to learn, create, and inspire every single day. There was a documentary in the works that would chronicle his life's journey and highlight the importance of community. His music started to draw in new fans, and each album told a story, a reflection of his love for Utica, his aspirations, and the people who had helped him get here. With each note he sang, he ignited hope in the hearts of those brave enough to listen. If he ever took the stage again, it would be at a different festival or performance, and he would carry with him the stories of his life and the lives of people around him, the key to the city. Just a friendly reminder that while it's great to achieve personal achievement, the real flavor of life comes from the connections we make with our community. After the festivities died down and everyone got back to their regular lives, Sofronio kept writing songs that would later reach listeners all over the globe. In them, he would capture not only his own experiences but also those of his community and others who had helped him. His life had been turned upside down by winning The Voice, but he had the bravery to tackle the challenge because of Utica's love and support. His hometown was a vibrant place that believed in dreams and had powerful voices at its heart, and he would capture that energy with every note and lyric. He took a deep breath, opened his heart, and got ready to sing not only for himself but also for Utica and everyone else who had believed in him as he prepared to take the stage tonight. This time, though, the energy wasn't solely focused on him. It was about everyone who had ever dared to dream. Now that he had a second chance at life and his dreams had come true, Sofronio Vasquez was prepared to share with the world the profound truth that every great journey begins with a single key: opportunity, optimism, and the transformative power of community, and his cherished Utica would forever own the key.